Alright guys, today is my birthday, my 25th birthday. My frontal lobe is supposed to finish developing today. I'm not really feeling anything different. I feel the same as I felt when I turned 24. I can be introverted. I'm always introverted. I can be extroverted when needed, I can be normal when I have to be. But I'm like always anxious in public. I'm always ridden with anxiety, and I prefer to not be in public. I prefer to be in my own closed space, Any activity that doesn't require me to leave the house is my favorite thing to ever do. And that's why reading is a big part of my life. Not only did reading save my mental health when I discovered that I liked reading for fun, like a few years back, but it genuinely helped me with my social anxiety in general, because being in the heads of fictional characters that are written by different people from different backgrounds puts it in perspective, like, okay, maybe I'm not alone in this. Especially when reading about characters that have the same struggles as me, it feels like, okay, somebody else goes through this, but then they do this and that, from their experience, and they become better, they get better. I don't know how I'd be today, or if I would be today, had it not been for reading. I was at a pretty low time of my life when I first went to Barnes & Noble for the first time and bought a romance novel to read it as my first ever book. And I remember that day, genuinely sitting at evening, flipping through the first pages and just, wondering where this is going to lead. Because I'd watched Bridgerton and wondered if this was inspired by a book series, because I know a lot of movies and TV shows are. And so I looked it up, and it was in fact inspired by a book series. So I went and bought the book for Colin and Penelope, which was romancing Mr. Bridgerton, and I read it in one sitting. I pulled an all-nighter for the first time reading a book for fun. That was not for a school assignment or anything. And I sat down and thought to myself, whatever this was, I need more of it. And so I just got on TikTok and started looking book recommendations for beginners. I came across the Shatter Me series, which is a YA dystopian genre. I came across ACOTAR, which is fantasy genre, adult fantasy. And then slowly I started widening my scope, looking for whatever I liked the most, which became, fantasy and sci-fi. I genuinely became addicted to reading, and it became such an escapism for me, where I didn't have to think about how shitty my life was at the time, or how horrible I was feeling about myself, or about everything in general. I could just open up a book and get lost. Just turn it all off and immerse myself in this fictional world that somebody else imagined, hallucinated, and then wrote. And so I urge everybody who is at a low time in their life, even if you're not at a bad spot in your mental health, reading in general helps you become more empathetic, especially if you're reading fiction. I discovered gaming. I don't want to make too much noise on the thing, but I discovered gaming just very recently. I'm playing my second story game right now, but it's improving my life for the better to have something to do aside from me being a mom and having responsibilities. So let's go get some books from Barnes & Noble together. I don't think I'm going to record in public because the whole anxiety part, we're not a big fan of that. But I'm going to try to record, because everybody's out to get me. They're going to make fun of me, point and laugh. Look at her, she's recording in public. Type shit, My brother drives my car sometimes, and he just pushes the chair back as far as possible. But you do stuff and then you learn lessons from them to not repeat the same mistakes again. But yeah, it's crazy. The idea of getting married at such a young age. I didn't know anything at the time. Nothing. I had no experience with the opposite gender whatsoever. Not even friendships, because I grew up in such a protective, strict household. Never did it ever cross my mind to date, even in secret, because a lot of Muslim girls do it in secret. But like I always thought that somebody was gonna snitch on me to my mom, so I never did it. Like I'm gonna go see BTS in 10 days, I think. 11 days, I think. Yeah. It's gonna be my first ever concert if I dare leave the house. It's gonna be epic if I can go. Nothing is stopping me, mind you. The only thing stopping me is this. I don't know why I stress about it so much. I don't know why I'm so anxious. But it's like a big stadium, many people. I don't know if I'll go because 2 years ago I bought the tickets to go see ATs, which is also a group that I love and listen to, and I didn't go. I didn't even sell my tickets. Like it was genuinely insane. Like the day before the concert, I'm like contemplating, will I go? Will I go? Will I go? And the day of the concert, I just don't. I don't. I don't even get ready or like think about it. I just out of my mind immediately. Just so stressful, because why do I do that? I don't know. But this time I bought tickets for my brother too, so I'll be forced to go. And I told him about it in advance. Like I told him I bought tickets for you and I to go to CBTS, and he wouldn't mind going with me. So like I was sure it would be fine. I took the wrong turn, I think. And he was like, okay, I'll go. So maybe this year that'll force me to go, because he's gonna be like, what are you doing? You bought it with money, we have to go, you know? So like, manipulation tactic. I'm manipulating myself through my brother, which hopefully will work. Because then he's gonna tell my mom, your daughter bought tickets and she's not gonna go. She wasted her money. And so my mom's gonna be like, what are you doing? Like I'm manipulating myself through my family, which hopefully will work. It's gonna be amazing if I go. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be like a genuine memory like that to have. Like, oh, I'm so excited to think about going. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be a challenge to find a parking spot now. Okay, never mind. B1 is where I'll park. It's not even too far too. Bro, it's like actual hell. If you want to know what hell feels like, you don't have to wait for the afterlife. Just live in Texas or Florida, and I lived in two. I know what it feels like to live in Florida, except like in Florida, you have hot and wet. Like it's wet to breathe. The first time I stepped a foot in the United States, we got out of the airport into Miami, Florida. I started bawling my eyes out, thinking, oh my God, why does it smell wet? Like, why am I breathing in water? Because it was just different. Like I felt like I was breathing in water, and I was crying like, Mama, why is it like that? How my facial ID doesn't recognize me with makeup on. Really boosts my confidence up, really. Makes me feel like I'm a fraud. Not as big of a fraud as Shanks, though. That man is sus. Alright guys, remember what I told you? That I haven't been to a bookstore in like 8 months since the beginning of this year? I may or may not have spent a small fortune on books today. From all genres, including manga. Because it's my thing now for some reason. Now that I'm reading One Piece, I want to like get into other stuff too. See what manga is all about. Alright, ready? I'm gonna put it next to me and then show you book by book what I got. So the first one is a manga, okay? Big, called Vagabond. It's about a swordsman. You know I love Zoro, so any variation of that kind, I'm in. Count me in. It's a 3 volume version, so I don't have to continue buying it if I don't like it. It looks pretty good. I like the feel of it. Hopefully it's interesting. I also got Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I love Brandon Sanderson's works, and I've read The Stormlight Archive as my first series by him, and I read Mistborn, the first trilogy by him too, and the 2 books from Mistborn, the second era, and I haven't finished that yet, but I love his work, and The Stormlight Archive is genuinely one of my favorite series of all time, so I think I want to give this a try. Recently watched The Odyssey in IMAX. Twice I watched it, okay? The first time I watched it by myself, and the second time I took my brothers with me, and I want to read the print. This is Emily Wilson's version, her translation. And so I'm gonna give it a try because I think in an interview, Christopher Nolan said that he based off his, interpretation of her work, based off her work. So that's why I bought it. Also got People Watching by Hannah Young. This is an author that also wrote Out on a Limb, which is one of my favorite romance novels. When I tell you guys that I read all genres, I read everything, as long as I vibe with it, I mean it. I read everything. Fantasy, romance, now manga is among them. I read sci-fi, classics, anything that will take my mind off of things, I'm interested, This is a book that I've seen so many of my favorite book talkers recommend. One of them is Eden. And so, Eden or Eden, I'm not sure how to say her name. But her recommendations are always a vibe. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a book that I like too because we have a similar taste in books. I also bought this sci-fi novel. It turns out to be like an old sci-fi novel published first in 1968. And it's about androids. I recently finished playing Detroit Become Human, and that was my first ever story game. And so really anything to kind of like leech off of that vibe, I'm there. This is about an android that is trying to hide the fact that it's an android among humans on Earth, because there's people on Mars too, where on Earth, androids are illegal, right? Because they're afraid of what they might do, but on Mars they're not. And this particular android is hiding amongst humans because turns out they're so far off in the future that you can differentiate between androids and humans. It's very hard to distinguish. So he's hiding. You thought it was over? No. Okay, my One Piece fam. Ever since I started reading One Piece and posting about it, people were like, "Oh, you're starting with the big three." What's the big three? Turns out there's 3 huge mangas, okay? The first one, One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. I'm at the almost 800th chapter of One Piece. So I'm in there, okay? I'm in there. And I love it. And I want more. And I'm afraid of catching up to One Piece because then I'll have to wait for the weekly updates. I'm gonna start Naruto, you guys. I bought the first volume only. Not 3 volumes, just 1. Okay, because I don't want to pressure myself into liking it just because it's one of the big 3, okay? Because there's pressure now. And people are asking me, my followers on TikTok are always like, are you gonna delve into other mangas? Are you gonna watch, Bleach? Are you gonna watch Naruto? I'll give it a try. We'll see where it goes. I'm not a fan of watching the animes because it's so old and the animation is just silly. I tried to watch the One Piece anime, but it's so slowly paced. So I kind of just select arcs that I really, really enjoyed in the manga to watch in the anime, or certain scenes that I'm like, oh my god, I want to see this animated so bad. I want to hear the actors, the voice actors bringing the scene to life. And so I might select a few episodes to watch. But I'm gonna go with the media that I like, which is reading. So I'm gonna get into this. We're gonna see what happened, okay? We're gonna see what Naruto's all about. I know it's about ninjas. That's as far as I know. There's more. You thought it was over? It's not. We have Dostoevsky. Guys, this is called Poor Folk and Other Stories by Dostoevsky. And I've read White Nights by Dostoevsky, and I tried to start Crime and Punishment. Mind you, I probably own 6 novels by him that I haven't read yet. But this seems like a small one to get into. The rest are really thick bad boys. And so I really enjoyed White Nights. It was a short story. And it was impactful to me. It was one of my first ever classics. So I might as well try another story by him. And it seems very, very short. Maybe an airport read. Just don't have anywhere to fly to. This is the last one. This is the second book of a sci-fi series that I own the first book to that I didn't even read. But what if I read the first book and I like it so much that I can't wait to buy the second one, right? So to have the second one at home on my shelf just in case. Because I love the genre of sci-fi in general. Pierce Brown made me love it, and he won't even drop Red God yet. What am I to do now? What? Please. Time is running and you're not doing anything. Mind you, a few days ago, I saw him on my For You page. He posted a video of him looking really happy. Like, but it seemed sinister because he was like, oh, I had such a good writing day today. No hats involved. If you know, you know. I was like, what are you so happy about? This is the last book in the series. What are you so, like, he was gleeful, you know? And he was like smiling, genuine smiling. Like, he probably killed someone. He probably just killed Severo and he's happy about it. Like, I don't know, it's stressing me out. And I also like got the membership, the premium Barnes & Noble membership. And they gave me this beautiful tote bag with it. It's not too bad. It's like $40 for the entire year and you get 10% off all of your purchases. I don't know what to go and read at home. Like, you don't have so many options now. Like, I can just go and pick up one and read them. But then I have to like think about it. Like, do I want to read these or go back home and play The Walking Dead? Because now I'm getting into my second story game. Or I can play Valorant because I'm stuck in bronze and I suck. I'm so bad at it. Like, I genuinely need a rescue. Help me. I'm not a fan of the whole birthday parties, celebrations and cakes and stuff. Don't put me at the center of any attention, please. I beg of you. Like, this is easy for me to do because it's all not real. Like, you're not real behind the screen, you know? I'm just talking to my camera. Happy birthday to you. No. Don't do any of that. Leave me alone, please. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like birthday parties. I don't like anything where I'm like being looked at. Nobody talks about how stressful it is to just stand there and have people sing happy birthday to you. It makes my skin crawl. I don't know if we'll talk more about my birthday vlog, but yeah, this was just a Barnes & Noble shopping thing.